Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a Ko-Fi, Patreon, crypto and thanks button in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and X. Now, we are joined by Refracted Curvature, Neil, and a whole bunch of people in the Flat Earth Debate Discord server. So welcome one and all.
Good morning, folks.
Hey, hey.
Hey, hey, good to have you all. Let's do a housekeeping question. Any evidence that you can acquire an elevation angle measurement from a curved baseline?
Negative. You needed a horizontal for that.
It's at the ground.
It is the ground. When you're navigating the ground and you're making elevation angle measurements to navigate the ground and referencing the ground, calibrating your tool with the ground, it's the ground. Now, people who are telling us at the moment it's not the ground are the globe believers, because it's not the globe ground when you're measuring Earth flat. No, it's not your ground that's sphere-shaped. And for this to work, it must be taken with respect to angles in the center of hell on an equatorial flat plane for them to be the elevation angle measurements that they are. In reality, those angle measurements are measured on the ground.
Not just globers, flat earthers are complaining. They think we should change it to reference flat. What do you think, Nathan?
When you're measuring an angle, we should say we're referencing an angle flat. What? That makes no sense. Measuring an elevation angle measurement, right? That's with respect to ground positions and, like I said earlier in summary, a calibration of the tool with the use of the horizon if you're on a boat that's moving back and forth and you're using a mariner's sextant, or with respect to a parallel plane if you're using a bubble sextant, or if you are back to using the mariner's sextant, correcting to the surface level. With dip correction, all of these things require Earth is a prerequisite flat plane of reference. Now, when you're measuring, and your measurement includes that at multiple stages, and what you're performing, doing, using, and navigating is the ground, how can I, in all fairness, turn around when someone says it's not the ground, or it's not a measurement, say, oh yeah, you're right. I can't, in good conscience, do that. Now, up until now, the objection we've got is, well, it's not like a measurement with a ruler. Like an area measurement, for example. It's like, no, it isn't. It's a elevation angle measurement. And when you talk about an elevation angle measurement, which is a measurement, you measure it with respect to the horizontal plane you are standing on. So Earth is measured flat. You don't have to like the terminology because it may not fit within your narrow idea of what a measurement must be. And we may try and take it to the extremes and mock people by making the example something other than an elevation angle measurement with something more absurd like temperature. Or give it me in miles. No, temperature measurement. Well, it can't be a measurement then. No. We've done it with cars. We've given all sorts of parallel examples to show how there are different types of measurements. In this case, it's an elevation angle measurement. And the only purpose for doing it is to navigate the ground.
Yeah, I don't understand the controversy. We're actually navigating the ground, so it's the ground, so we say Earth is measured flat. Get over it, people.
I've released a whole bunch of videos over the last day or so because we didn't have a live show yesterday. I was out at a theme park with my kids. And I trimmed up quite a few examples of us putting that to globe believers and how they cannot cope. All they can argue in rebuttal as a globe believer is no, 90-degree positions on the ground, called ground positions, can meet a curve. No, they cannot. That's what they've got. Or to put it another way, they don't have a rebuttal, because there's no challenging what a flat Earth elevation angle measurement is, how it functions, and how it must require and does require and is utilizing Earth as a flat plane. This measurement is a flat Earth measurement, and nobody can decry it. They need it too. It's the first thing we had McToon over a barrel with when he put out his 10K challenge. All right, you're using elevation angle measurements and asking us how they work on a flat plane. You get them from a flat plane. Anyway, we've got a video to cover today. And there's been several people who have suggested that I cover this video. They get props in the pre-show, so shout out to you all. I don't know if it's a good video, so I shouldn't really be thanking you at this early stage. But we're going to be covering the Law Lodge and Witsit Gets It. And although I didn't say this in the pre-show, I wanted to save it for the live show. When I say by popular demand, even if it's people who have made comments to me that they love to hate this video and want us to critique it in a negative fashion, which may or may not be the case, right? It is still a testament to what I said about Witsit a couple of shows ago, which is, maybe John will pipe up in this little preamble, right? But we want Witsit to be a good ambassador for us. And when we see things that are objectionable from Witsit, we critique him more heavily because we want him to do well. In other words, we care. So there might be an impression that, we hate Witsit and we want to, no. It's quite the contrary, right? We want Witsit to be a good ambassador. That's it. I think it was while we were covering Mark Sargent and essentially saying the same thing, but with a lot of praise. In other words, when we're doing this repeatedly for Witsit by popular demand, and it's always negative, you can get a bit despondent when you're covering someone like Witsit because you've done it before and it's always the same thing. Whereas with Mark, we're full of praise for him for all the good work he's done within the community and the amount of people he's brought to the subject, and given what we call a soft landing, essentially our apologies for all the things we critique about Feast of Nonsense when they come from Mark's lips instead of someone else's. But when you hear it packaged up the way it was for Mark, it seems like, oh, well, you like Mark, but you don't like Witsit. It's like, nah, yeah. In terms of what damage is being done by Witsit, having not been one of the OG people bringing this subject to the masses like Mark is, he's just doing damage when he talks nonsense about ether. Now, Mark, you could easily just as well argue that he's doing damage when he's speculating as a conspiracist, which is what he's pegged as by his opponents. It doesn't change the end result from Mark versus the end result from Witsit. The end result for Witsit at the tip of the spear on the cutting edge of the debate is that you've got a reasonably justifiable false dichotomy with gravity and ether, and that is simply not the case. Now, at the cutting edge of the debate, you need things to start getting rounded out, brought to conclusions. Earth being measured flat is one such conclusion that we would encourage people to also lean on once they understand it. At the moment, we're in the debate with our own side because they don't fully understand the premise, which is fine. It will be sharpened as people critique it from our own side. Our opponents have got no rebuttal. They know it's measured flat as a starting point for them to start extrapolating out globe faith. And when they declare how flat it is measured and apologise for why it isn't globe-shaped, you can now start, as an audience, paying attention to that. Oh, well, we wouldn't need to take into account the globular nature of Earth. The difference between that and how flat we are actually measuring is insignificant. The error's tiny. So we measure it flat, says a globe believer, whilst apologising for how globe-shaped it isn't while they measure it flat. They know it. I know it. Some flat earthers don't know it yet and want to challenge it. That's fine. That's what we do here. So we encourage that. But doesn't alter what's on screen now when they're measuring a flat earth with a shadow, or any of the other multitudes of examples where globe believers absolutely require a flat earth measurement to make their premise, to lay their foundation for their globe claim. In legal speak, that's what it is, laying a foundation. Their foundation's always a flat earth foundation. Very amusing in 2024. Anyway, we're sidetracking in terms of we want Witsit to do well, right? And although it may seem negative most of the time, there's a reason we keep covering him, and there's a reason people keep watching him and want him to be critiqued by us, because they, presumably, reading between the lines, also want Witsit to do well and be a good ambassador for us all. Just before we do get into the video, would anybody disagree with that sentiment? In other words, although we are quite harsh towards Witsit, what we want is to cheer him on, right?
Yeah, I want Witsit to do good. I do.
Well,
the harder we are on him is because we like him. You know, we like Mark, but we really like Witsit.
I like
as
Mark
far
better.
as the debate goes.
I've met Mark. He's a really nice guy. Yeah, we do. We like
Witsit knows better.
I'm saying as a
Who's closer to what we do, Mark or Witsit? Absolutely, without question. Witsit's closer to the tip of the spear in terms of the types of argument and the types of people he deals with. So from that perspective, yes, I agree, John. Go on, whoever it was from Discord.
It was me, George.
George.
Witsit knows better. He's been here. He knows the arguments. He's just not using it. Shame on him.
Yeah, it's a difference between Mark should know better and Witsit does know better. So our disappointment.
Well, Witsit has a reason, Nathan. No, he has another agenda. So I don't know if it's going to help, to be honest with you.
Well, either way, we're covering him today because presumably by popular demand, people want to hear us and what we've got to say about how this was debated. So we'll see how we get on. I'll just do a quick sound check now, unless there is anything else anyone wants to get out of their system before I do press play.
One thing really quick.
Go ahead.
The Globe has been saying it for the longest time. We were late on catching it. How they were constantly using Earth flat. We just didn't catch on.
Yeah.
So we were late.
Yeah, we are. You're absolutely right in that. You know, there are a few exceptions to that. But ultimately, you know, with the exception of probably Brian, Quantum Eraser, and Refracted Curvature, and it was to their frustration, the first encounter with this, in terms of, no, we all must be referencing, including the globe, as a horizontal plane, and we can prove it with some of the processes that we have to employ with celestial navigation, for example, dip correction. My response to Brian, because I'm ignorant, it's only a small error, you don't need to do that. And then Brian got really annoyed with me, rightfully so, because he's understanding at a base level all the way back then that Earth is always being used as a flat reference plane. Yeah. Now these days, it's the antithesis of that, right? Brian got it years ago and was at peace with it. We hadn't even recognised it when the Globers start telling us how flat they measure it. So there's a big contrast. Now, John is also guilty of this, and he knew long back too. So I'm going to share the blame here. Sorry, John, got to do it. We chant through Brian when he's trying to explain something complex in terms of, let's just pretend it's the Haversine conversion, and Brian was detailing how that functions. If every time within the description of the Haversine conversion there was a reference to sea level or something, and we started piping up through him and going, you're going to need a flat plane for that, that's going to get annoying for Brian. Now, I've said this many times, it doesn't mean we're going to stop doing it, because it's like Jeopardy, or not Jeopardy, like whack-a-mole or something. I can't think of a good analogy on the spot, but when you hear it, you want to shout it out, right? Every time you see the puppet behind the main character on stage, you want to go, he's behind you. You just feel compelled to shout it out. And that's getting on Brian's wick. And I don't blame him, to be honest, because you've got to give credit where it's due, especially as I'll say this in the live show. I did say it in the pre-show as well. Go and check out Brian's Logic's most recent video, if nothing else, just to see the level of pain from the Globers. I've never seen anything like it. It was overwhelming for even me. Not in a, oh my God, what am I going to do about this? But more, oh my God, look at all that pain from the Globers in Brian's video. I've never seen anything like it. Props to Brian for inducing that effect in them. I just, it's him that highlighted the fact, and I went and had a look as a result of him saying that. Not that I wouldn't have been watching his video anyway, but just the overwhelming amount of pain in there in the comments section. Brian, wow.
429 comments.
Wow, it's gone up. It's
views.
Probably doubled since I last looked. Really, Oh my
But Nathan,
God.
all Brian's videos are full of trolls. All of them. All the trolls from YouTube are there, or globe defenders, whatever you want to call them. Every single Brian's vids, they all show up there.
If
This
you
is
want to
not
be
Yeah,
ahead,
because
something new. Maybe
Brian
this
says
one.
things that hurt them badly.
Yes, yes.
Well, he's
Yeah.
attacking their belief. At this moment, we're not. Pointing out that they have to measure it flat is like it's accepted by them. They're not getting upset about that.
yeah, you're spot
They
on.
don't realize the implications until they try to assert something.
Brian's spin is slightly different to our current 2024 spin, which is why there is going to be a slight clash. Now, it's always going to be in the favour of the greater good that this clash or contrast between what Brian is currently doing and what I'm currently doing doesn't mean we're going to fall out over it or anything. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, if we did, it wouldn't really be a great loss, let's be honest. But nevertheless, what Brian is currently doing is saying how the globe can't function with satellites. And it really winds them up. How it can't function on a globe is you know, when our AI comes in the after shows and starts, he'll talk to he'll say to a black member of the panel, you know what I'm talking about, my brother, or something like that is semi-indicative of a semi-slur racially, but not enough to call him on, just to get them antagonized, right? By them I mean black people. I am generalizing. Feel free to leave a comment. My point is that he's doing it to antagonize. Well, Brian knows how to do that with globers, right? Telling them how Earth's measured flat, they'll agree and then apologise for how spherical it ain't. And in their mind, the fact they've apologised for how spherical it ain't being measured is enough to move on and then start using that flat Earth measurement to affirm their globe. So they're in alignment with us when we tell them it's measured flat, right? It's only the bloody flat Earthers that are arguing with us at the moment in 2024 because they don't get it. That's fine. I mean, let's not rehash that a 19th time. We're up to 18th already. But Brian, he's not taking that tact, is he? He's like, this is how your globe can't work with this system. It's embarrassing for you guys, isn't it? And they all go nuts.
In 2024, though, I'm having a hard time conceptualizing a globe because I know the steps that it takes to make it. You know, like, so when they say globe, I know they're not talking about a globe. They're talking about the celestial sphere.
Yeah, which is why
So
we're going to
they
clash
realize
with
it or
Brian.
not.
You and I are going to do that, and that's why I'm saying whack-a-mole. You can't help seeing it every time you hear it. For Neil now, because he's just the penny dropped for him last week. I noticed re-listening to the videos. Up, right, Neil. As soon as they say up, Neil's all over it, like flies on the proverbial. Oh, you can't have up. It's like it's just trigger words, isn't it? You know what they're appealing to when they're using gravity. And down, same thing applies, right? Yeah, down. Whoa. No. Get your own dirt. You'll need a flat Earth for that.
Yeah, that's why Newton did all of his calculations for a force of gravity with respect to an inertial plane, is because they need flat Earth more than we do.
Exactly. Go ahead, whoever it was. Is it Dala? D-A-L-A?
Exactly. Yeah, I was watching a Joe Rogan video last night, and he had Terrence Howard on there. I heard you were going to cover Witsit today.
We were.
If anyone could just take a minute and watch that video, because he sounds just like Witsit on that video. Terrence Howard, that is. So, yeah, he's also talking about the ether and all of that stuff. So it was very interesting to watch.
We'll have to cover that next week because tomorrow we're covering Joe Rogan, unless that is the one that is that the one you want.
That's the same one, Nathan. It's the same
how
one.
Convenient. But I was going to fob him off for you, Neil. Did you see that?
What's that?
I said I was going to fob him off for next week if it wasn't the one that you wanted to cover tomorrow. Anyway, can we get to covering Witsit? That was supposed to be a short preamble before I click play. It's been about 5 minutes. Any more before we get into the Witsit video?
For me to grasp why this would ever have come about. If it were so obvious that the Earth is flat, and we have to be tricked into it with all of these complex methods and with NASA allegedly faking images from space and things like that, then at some point in history, somebody has to have decided to start lying about the Earth being round.
Yep.
I want to, because I don't think we're going to get anywhere on the topic.
Appeal to motivation fallacy.
He,
I was leveling him up. I couldn't.
Said that
Did I get that right?
Fly.
Sorry, I'm cutting you off, John. Go ahead.
Yeah, the moment he says that someone had to lie to us. No, they didn't. They could have just been wrong. Let's just focus on whether it is correct or incorrect. You can worry about whether it's a lie later. I'm not interested.
Yeah, my sentiment exactly. Oh, right. You're very concerned about the motivation of the people who were telling you it was a globe. Now you know it isn't. That's your problem. I don't care. I mean, I knew NASA were lying years ago and turned my back on them and not really cared ever since. But you're now really concerned about the tens of thousands of people that, according to you, must be lying. Now you found out it's flat. But avoidance of finding out it's flat in favour of the logical fallacy when you appeal to consensus won't cut it. It's just a logical fallacy. But for the fact that tens of thousands of people would have had to been lying is not an argument to prove the nature of the ground we're standing on. It doesn't prove anything.
Of the physics aspect, because I think
category error. Physics isn't geometry. Talking about the nature of the ground that we're standing on being a horizontal plane of reference or shape in the case of sphere belief derived from those flat plane measurements. That's not science. That's not cause and effect relationships. You don't know what physics is, Law Lodge.
I think we just simply disagree on what the facts are. When it comes to that,
just to put
I think I've researched it a little bit more respectfully.
Well,
I'm sure that you think you have. I am sure that is true.
Disagree on what the facts. What does that even mean? You disagree on what the facts are? Is it when you do a true or false statement test? Is there true, false, and disagree? Is that one of the options? Moron.
I think
The thing is evidence
the-
that I have.
I think
you said several things that both of us would argue were patently, blatantly, factually incorrect.
the core of the
That's the
argument.
thing. So that's what we're trying to get. That's why we're trying to move away from it. Is unless you're going to produce the studies, and I know you gave
I
Aiden
just
some
dropped
stuff.
like 30 or
You
30
gave
different
Aiden a few
papers.
articles about one specific aspect, in which we obviously don't have time to read through all of them to determine. The reason I say this is because in a lot of discussions I've had with flat earthers, not you, but other flat earthers, all the time they'll be like, "Oh, well, this is
A stereotyping fallacy to follow.
true. Here's a source." I then read the source, and what they've done is they've taken two sentences out of it, taken them completely out of context, not read the rest of it, and then claimed it supports their argument. So I need.
He's claiming by stereotype a cherry-picking fallacy or Texas sharpshooter, depending on how he expands it in the next few breaths. We'll see.
to read through those.
Oh man, yeah. Okay, this is said a lot. That's said a lot. For example, if I bring up, "Hey, did you guys know that they're showing"?
Don't buy into his fallacy. Just point out that it's a fallacy. Don't then ask him to example the fallacy. By stereotype, you say we use Texas sharpshooter. Show me. Did I do it? Where have I used the Texas sharpshooter fallacy would be my claim. I don't give a crap what you say by stereotype flat earthers do or what you've experienced with flat earthers. You're dealing with me. Deal with my earth measured flat claim and nothing else, because that's all I'm going to bark about constantly.
that they're like what you call gravity is actually electromagnetic in nature.
See, where I see an interlude to bring in earth measured flat, what we're getting from Witsit. Full dichotomy. Got what? Gravity versus electrodielectric incoherent acceleration of magnetic forces. Is that what we're going to get from Witsit now? I'm pretty sure it is.
If I give you the paper, what people will do is they'll go find that this guy believes the Earth's a sphere or believes in the heliocentric model. He's like, "Oh, this doesn't support your point." He's like, "No, it does support my point. I invoked it about electromagnetic gravity, right?" So I don't care what he thinks about.
What you just said was you think you've researched this more than us. But if what you're doing now is you're saying, "Well, I've read this guy's paper."
But inadvertently, when Witsit interrupted with, "I think I've done more research," the guys remembered that and taken it to be part of a compound statement that Witsit has just made. So he's ignored every actual reply in the chronological section that Witsit's replying in favour of this is compound, along with we've done more research, I'll now address that. When in reality, it isn't part of Witsit's response about incoherent dielectric accelerative magnetic force in substitution of where I'd be pointing out Earth's measured flat, what with me being a flat earther and all. Nevertheless, so he's taken it, I'll take the first part of this compound question. You say you're smarter and have done more research. Let's talk about that.
And
No, I was giving an example.
I know,
but
you understand what I'm saying is if your argument is, well, yeah, they say that we've taken it out of context, but I read it and it supports my argument, but then the person who wrote it doesn't agree.
So the way this Law Lodge guy sees Witsit's arguments are to describe Witsit's arguments as his pulling apart of their logical reasoning and ability to do research. That's not an argument in the confines of what we discuss and argue about. We argue about the nature of Earth. That's what we argue about. But what, if I pull apart you and your use of a fallacy, you'll say, well, your argument is that I use fallacy. That's not my argument. That's my rebuttal to your fallacy that you used when you were claiming you've got a irrefutable proof of a sphere, followed by an affirming the consequent, or whatever you use to beg the question. You know, that isn't my argument, and it's not Witsit's argument. Even though I object to his argument about incoherent dielectric acceleration, that is his actual argument. Crap though that might be. It certainly isn't that you guys aren't doing enough research. That was just an aside he put in when he interrupted you.
Agree with you. It would
doesn't
suggest
matter.
It does matter.
That would be like saying no, someone cannot invoke Isaac Newton unless they believe that gravity is a direct act of God. Or it's even worse than that. It's like saying you can't believe in Newtonian gravity from the Principia if you're an atheist, because he believed in a God. And he actually said that gravity was a direct.
Okay, number one, it's the Principia. Number two, why are we arguing about Newtonian gravity by contrast when that's just going to affirm the belief of 50% of the audience if 50% of the audience is on the globe side? Lost track of what number? Number three, why aren't you just proving Earth's flat? Why have we got the juxtaposition in false dichotomy with Newtonian and your incoherent dielectric acceleration gravity? Why are we having this as the debate? This is the debate, really, isn't it? You know, can Witsit, in his pissing competition style, show he's done more research? That's what the guy took affront to and will challenge. When it comes to the actual debate about whether or not Earth's flat or a globe, it's whether or not Isaac Newton's got a contrasting view that we must accept as an act of God versus his incoherent dielectric acceleration garbage that he's punting. That's the debate that's taking place before our eyes. What about flat Earth? This reminds me of the good old days when I used to watch Globebusters, and I'd be in the chat getting banned going, why aren't you talking about flat Earth? What's this garbage? Nothing ever changes. Prove a flat Earth, Witsit, instead of punting your garbage.
Direct act of God, and it's the only way he could even explain it because it's impossible. But you see how that's insane. His idea about gravity has nothing to do with if he believes in God. It has nothing to do with the fact he thought the.
Who cares? According to the title of this, it's the Great Heliocentrism Debate. Okay, heliocentrism's derived from flat Earth elevation angle measurements to Polaris and the ephemeris, the celestial sphere, in the first instance, all measured with angles to a flat Earth. In order to develop a globe system, a heliocentric, sun-centric sphere Earth system, you need a flat plane to measure the angles to these lights to put them in an orbital motion. That's heliocentric. I mean, what I would be doing if I was on this debate is schooling the guy about the origins of his heliocentric belief. If we're going to debate heliocentrism, I'll show you how heliocentrism is an offshoot of flat Earth measurements. The calculations derive from the way the Earth is actually measured, and that's flat. If that's what we're debating, that's what we're debating. Where's gravity and incoherent dielectric acceleration come into the heliocentrism debate? Beyond bending pseudo-Riemannian force space-time to explain gas not expanding into a vacuum? Oh no, that would be Newtonian mass-attracting mass, superseded 109 years ago by bent space-time, to not overcome the gas expansion into a vacuum that debunks the heliocentric sky vacuum? I mean, that aside, all of the measurements to infer that we would need an explanation for a sky vacuum come from flat plane measurements of the stars. What's the debate here? Not whether or not Newton can be contrasted with ether gravity.
sun was in the center of the entire
Mhm.
universe. Just like Kepler, who thought it was literally a god, that the sun was a god,
Yeah,
and sang a
aware.
heavenly song. It doesn't. We use Kepler's kinematics to map out the planets. It doesn't matter that
Like, Kepler used the ephemeris. Kepler used flat Earth measurements of angles to the stars to develop his orbital system. If you're going to debate heliocentrism and you're going to bring up Kepler, bring up the fact he's using flat Earth measurements. Because he is.
he thought the sun was a god, right?
All right.
So that's
Sure,
the point I'm making.
Oh, can we dig him up and just double check that with him? Can we like cross-examine his corpse for his feelings on what God is? Who cares what Kepler believed? Who cares? Where does his maths come from and what are the origins? Flat Earth angle measurements to the stars? Yep. I'm pretty sure that's a flat Earth origin for their globe faith right there. Missed opportunity.
That's what point I'm making. You have to invoke it with specifics, like, oh, I mean, look, I'm supporting this point or this point. And normally, when I start mainstream academia, I'm kind of correcting people on their misunderstanding of the globe model, right? And that's what I mean by I've maybe looked into it more. I'm not trying to be.
No, you didn't correct any misunderstanding about the globe model. You had entered into a little pissing competition about how smart you are and how much you knew. I educated him, if he's to watch this, on how Kepler derived his orbital motion from flat plane angle measurements. Please let the Law Lodge know, at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me, because he's not getting educated about the origins of the globe. And we, as purveyors of advanced heliocentric knowledge, understand implicitly how the Earth is measured to give you a heliocentric claim. Now, as a advanced heliocentric purveyor of understanding, that would be to say I disseminate the flat Earth measurements used by Kepler to create orbital motion. I would hope that the Law Lodge would be more grateful to us, because he's obviously got a stereotypical view of flat Earth numpties and what they would do. We're not doing that, though, are we? You know, we're advancing your heliocentric understanding by giving you the origins of the measurements of the Earth itself. That would be flat. Let him know. There's a link going by in the live chat right now. At Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me, and I encourage you to literally do this if you are one of the 80 plus people who are in the audience now. I'll do a call to action for you to share this show later. More importantly, right here, right now, if you're watching live, go and let him know at Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me. And hopefully allude to the idea that we can give him a better understanding of how the heliocentric model works with its flat Earth origins of angle measurements to stars. Because that's what we talk about. Painful for our viewers when they're on the globe side. So yeah, hopefully a few of you will actually do that. Like I say, there's a link going by right here, right now, and we'll see. The idea being, if he's to do a response in regards to what we've critiqued him and his understanding, and indeed his guest, you know, just on the flat Earth side, and his understanding of false dichotomies with ether and gravity, maybe he'll put a link to our video if he makes a response thanking us for letting him know that flat Earth measurements were required for Kepler's orbital motions for him to have a heliocentric belief to reify. Shout out to Jason Dean. It's pointless to cover cities nonsense. My opinion. Okay. Fair enough. Shout out to Kieran, who's joined as a penguin. Also, thank you very much. You think that's enough time for people to go and left a message? What do you reckon? Should we carry on with the video? Should we give them a couple more minutes and ask them a couple more times?
I would like to, just as directed towards Lore Lodge and Witsit, why would you be arguing about a downward force or an upwards rising Earth if you need a horizontal plane of reference to describe either one of those directions?
Excellent summary. So what's being described is an Einsteinian view of an Earth rising up versus a downward bias in incoherent dielectric accelerative terms is a contrast that has two flat planes of reference at the heart of both claims. Right, John?
Yes. Yeah. So whether you're having the Earth rise up, because up is with respect to a horizontal plane, or you have things falling down, it's still with respect to a horizontal plane.
think that's probably enough time for a few of my live audience to have let him know. At Nathan Oakley 1980 sent me, and as I say, hopefully if he was to make a response, or anybody else that we do video responses to, hopefully they'd put a link to my video, so we receive a little more YouTube algorithmic love than we typically do. Filtered 50 pages down in the anti-flat earth rhetoric when you search for this subject.
Be disrespectful or anything or be like rude. I'm just saying, like, I know a lot about the mainstream model,
Sure.
and that is why I don't believe in it. Right? I can still man it with the best of them, and that's all.
Yeah, again, that's where we differ, Witsit. Where you say you can't believe in the heliocentric model, I can see its virtues based on its accuracy after taking flat Earth measurements now. So where you decry the failures or perceived failures of the heliocentric model, I can draw parallels with the successes based on how their origins lie in a flat Earth measurement of the stars, for them to transpose them as latitude positions onto a globular surface, to then project those positions out through the centre of hell, out through the globe, out to the celestial sphere, measured originally with a flat plane for Kepler to give you the orbital motions. So once you understand the origins, you can see how, in many ways, it was a success for the church to give better predictive capabilities to their adversaries, or whatever it is that they're trying to overcome in problematic terms when they don't know when Easter's going to be. But by doing so, they've got better accuracy in their predictive models after using a Keplerian orbital motion and ellipses. But all of those things have been derived from the measurements in the first instance with respect to a celestial sphere that's been invented. What is that celestial sphere? Well, it's the represented angle measurements. If you imagine a giant protractor around your position, if you stood at the base of Polaris, and you drew out lines to all of the different positions that you could see from the ground as Polaris drops toward the horizon, if you're backing away from it. There's your latitude system. That's what we're doing with a flat plane when we create a model to describe how the stars move above us in a parallel plane, or with a parallel plane. You can plot those out as though they're on the lines of a protractor at the ends of a semicircle, and say that you've got a celestial hemisphere. Again, with respect to a flat plane, if you're measuring it with a protractor, that's what angles to the stars are. A flat Earth measurement of angles to stars is the origins of this globe belief. Anyway, that's where we differ, Witsit. You say you know the origins. It just seems like you're entering into a pissing competition, though, when you're not detailing them. If you say you've got a better understanding of the heliocentric model than he has, you need to actually labour and demonstrate how that is the case, like I've just done.
All I was saying, but I want to address the thing real fast about, like, how would they lie? Why would they lie? That is a meta thing, and I'm happy.
You want to address that particular fallacy of appeal to consensus, or appeal to motivation? That's a fallacy. Why? Why would you address their fallacy? Point out that it's a fallacy and move on with proving Earth's measured flat.
Yeah, it's meta. I get that's a question. It's kind of
Nathan.
Go ahead, whoever that was.
Bono is pretty important. I mean, that's what a lot of people's minds go to when you say that the Earth is flat. Well, if millions of people have to be lying, I mean, that's where their mind goes. So that's where this guy's mind went, and also his mind went to basically Witsit's always basically he's one of the best globe teachers. You just take out his flat Earth editorials, and it's basically just a globe teacher. So you guys don't do that. I think you guys are more close to Mark Sargent than you are to Witsit, because he's up in the clouds, man.
You think Witsit's a good globe teacher only because his claims on incoherent dielectric acceleration parallel gravity? That's the only way I'd perceive him to be a good globe teacher.
His whole, if you watch his videos, he's quoting Einstein. He's quoting Einstein. He's quoting all the Kepler, all these people, and then he teaches the globe, and then he says this is how it's wrong, and then flips it to flat Earth or whatever. So he brings up a lot of obscure stuff that the spherical Earth provides, but he then just editorializes it.
Fair enough. Go on, John. You were trying to get a word in a few times.
Right. When people's minds go to millions of people would have to be lying, it's a cognitive problem of theirs, because millions of people don't have to be lying. There's only a couple that would have to be lying, and that's the people who are claiming to go into an area where gas is not filling. So yeah, there's not a huge.
That gets into you guys are using definitions as being prescriptive, not descriptive. That's a huge like philosophical problem that you're coming across, right?
No, it isn't. No, you're having a false dichotomy of whether it's a true or a lie, and that's a false dichotomy, and that's why you're jumping to all these people would have to be lying, because you can't accept.
As far as the gas claim, as far as you guys' gas claim, like you're using the definition prescriptively, and then you're using that as a proof instead of like it's a descriptive claim. And also it's used by globe earthers that don't mean that. So you're like, it's a really weird argument.
Okay, you're saying prescriptive and descriptive. Fine.
It's not a proof of ours. It's a rebuttal to a positive claim made by our opponents.
Yeah, but you're using it prescriptively as a proof.
No.
A definition.
No.
Proof of what?
Proof, like, oh, well, you can't have gas next to a vacuum, therefore the Earth isn't, what they say it is. Like you're using the definition like an axiom.
It's a debunking.
That's incorrect.
That's a debunking.
That's incorrect anyway. We don't say that.
That's not a debunk.
We don't say that.
You can't debunk a definition.
It's a straw man.
They're debunking the claim.
No, it's a straw man. It's a straw man to say that there's gas next to a vacuum, because we all know that it goes less and less and less.
One more time.
Gas pressure gradient.
One more time.
There's a gas pressure gradient. We all know that.
You said it's a straw man to claim there's a gas next to a vacuum, right?
Yes.
Is this a bit like...
Because it's a gradient.
It's a bit like saying Earth curve's a straw man. There is a claim that you can look back at high-pressure gas from a 10 to the minus 17 torr vacuum and take pictures of said high-pressure gas, not expanding into it in violation of the second law of thermodynamics. That's a claim that you, as a globe believer, if you are one, have, that you've got photos from said 10 to the minus 17 torr vacuum of high-pressure gas not expanding into it. The black area in the blue marble, that's 10 to the minus 17 torr. The clouds, they're amongst the high-pressure gas. And they're next to each other in the picture. What's that you say? Pressure gradient?
Pardon me.
Pressure gradient is a delta of gas pressure that would have never developed in that fantasy picture that they're claiming is taken from the vacuum that we can't possibly have. It's a violation of natural law. But there's no claim from me in that. That's a refutation of a positive claim that the sky is a vacuum. It isn't. It violates the second law of thermodynamics.
You're strawmanning the second law of thermodynamics straight from Quantum Eraser. You've been doing this for years. You're just strawmanning it. That's not what that means. You guys continue to be corrected, but you guys continue to do this for years and years. So it's just like, how do you get through? What evidence do you need?
You introduced a gradient, sir. Now, as a description, what are you trying to describe with this gradient? Are you talking about change in pressure from sea level?
Yeah, I live in Salt Lake, but when I go to Park City, there's less.
I say gas
because I go up about 1,000 feet. What's that?
So as you rise in elevation up, the gas gets thinner and there's less pressure, right? That's what you're saying. That's descriptive,
and
right?
You know that. It's descriptive?
Well, you know what you're describing?
Just lead me there. Go ahead.
You're describing elevation change with respect to a horizontal plane of reference. That's what you're describing when you say as you go up.
Yeah, like sea level would be the plane of reference.
Yeah, welcome to Flat Earth.
Yeah. Yeah, you're done.
Well, you guys know the different definition that you don't use of level.
Right.
You know what we mean by level, but you don't use that.
Right, we know what you mean by level. Yeah, it's in your Earth curve maths.
With respect to the center of the Earth. Yeah.
Right, we know what you mean by level. It's in your Earth curve maths, second attempt. It's surface level and eye level. They're parallel with one another in the maths. What, did you think that they were curving around something? Because they're not. Level's level. Sea level is level, and we know what level means. We know what you think level means when you think it's what, perpendicular to the center of a sphere? Definitely not. Meanwhile, to address,
I know in your worldview you don't believe
just
that.
one other thing.
That's okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, in your worldview that you've constructed for yourself, that's what you believe. So I mean, that's fair.
No, that's incorrect.
Sorry, we believe it.
that's
You just
false.
Oh no,
affirmed
you
it.
didn't. You
Sea
don't
level.
have a worldview.
Sorry, it's with respect to sea level. Level is level. You said as response that we think sea level isn't something you think it is. And I went to your Earth curve maths to show that level is definitely level. It doesn't run around a sphere curving. Level's level. So sea level, for your altitudes, when you talked about how gas pressure gradients, that's a delta of gas pressure that wouldn't develop in a sky vacuum, are somehow overcoming this when you use a flat plane of reference, a flat Earth, to measure how high they are, the gradients that is. So I welcomed you to flat Earth. Now I'm going to address something else. Now we've dealt with that. You proved a flat Earth with the pressure gradients, by the way. You proved a flat Earth because your measurement was with respect to sea level. Level not being around a sphere. I referenced your level in your maths for curved Earth. For how level is. Sea level being level, surface level being level, both referenceable in your view. Maybe you have a different view as an individual, like a crazy numpty anti-flat earther that thinks that level isn't level. I mean, we could get into that later and laugh at you about it, but instead I'm going to address something you said about quantum erasers, second law of thermodynamics, of Yale University lectures, like I've done.
Other, I have a vacuum, and if I open the tap between these two, you will see spontaneously the bromine rush from one to the other.
Or what's the other one I sat through? MIT.
Remove this partition and wait a little bit, then I know the gas fills up.
Spontaneously, right? The gas is going to fill the available volume.
That's MIT. He's got a box with gas and V, that's gas volume, and then he's got another one next to it called vacuum. So there's gas and there's vacuum. A bit like when you look back from a fantasy area that doesn't exist, called a vacuum of space, and take pictures of a gas not filling it as he's just described when describing the second law of thermodynamics. The other guy who said the gas fills up, what, the space? Yeah. That was a second law of thermodynamics description from Yale. It's not quantum erasers description. It's not a straw manning it. Gas fills space. It's lectured about in the highest level universities there is. Gas fills space. So you're not going into a second law of thermodynamics violation to take pictures of gas not filling space on a blue marble, because that's a violation of natural law as lectured in universities. It's not quantum erasers. So we've overcome your gas pressure gradient. Yeah, you wouldn't have that if the sky was a vacuum. You'd never develop gas pressure. Gas fills space. So a gas pressure gradient, you'd never have that. Meanwhile, when you appeal to the gas pressure gradient with respect to sea level, you proved a flat Earth in your measurement, because the gradient is respect to sea level, not curve. Sea level, flat. Like in your curve maths, where surface level is flat, not curving. So we're all clear. Earth measured flat, 4 gradients. Sky not vacuum, gas filled space.
If
you have gas, it would expand into the vacuum, absolutely.
We understand now that that professor's explained it to his student. Yes, if we have a vacuum, gas will be filling that vacuum. Yeah, so blue marble debunked. Glad we cleared that up.
Why do you
Right,
reckon
and
all
if
these
it's
guys
left-
that you guys reference are all globe earthers? Like, none of these guys figured out this really clever way of saying, oh, all of the measurements are flat, therefore the earth is flat. Like, why didn't they think of that? It's so clever.
Couldn't give a toss. Do you have a quote from one of them giving us a globe proof? Or is your only argument that what these guys would think if I appeal to what they think with a crystal ball about what they think? You know they're globers because you've got a crystal ball. Did you ask? Who cares? They've just told us gas fills space in a lecture about the second law of thermodynamics. Your sky vacuum is debunked, and you're telling me, do you know they believe in globe Earth? I don't care what they believe. We measure Earth flat. You did when you gave us gradients. You measured Earth flat from sea level for gradients, remember? You did it too. Does it matter that you believe Earth's a sphere when you give us gradiated pressure with respect to sea level? I'm pretty sure that's you measuring Earth flat too. Do you think I'm going to toss what you believe? Did you hear my question?
So you've been.
Did you hear my question?
You've been corrected for years on this.
Sorry, don't tell me what I've been corrected about. Did you hear my question or not?
Well, was there a question in that ramble?
Yeah. Do you think I give a toss what you believe when you just measured Earth flat with gradiated descriptions from sea level? You used a flat Earth measurement, and I'm asking if you think I give a toss about what you believe after you've given us a flat Earth measurement. Your belief's irrelevant.
I didn't make any such measurements. I don't even know what you're talking
about. Sea level, when you talked about the gradiated pressure, you did. Cat got your tongue?
Okay.
Cat got... Okay. So you measured a flat Earth. And I'm asking you, third time's a charm, if you think I give a toss about your stupid globe belief when you've given us something you've now denied after giving it us, a flat Earth measurement with respect to sea level. That would be gradiated pressure you appealed to. Delta X doesn't overcome a second law of thermodynamics. Description from Yale and MIT. No, it doesn't overcome that. It does reference a flat Earth, though. Now I'm asking for a fourth time if you think I give a toss about your belief, given you've given us a flat Earth measurement.
I haven't given any such measurements.
So what's sea level, then?
In reference to the center of the Earth on the...
Sorry, sea level's not reference to the centre of Earth, it's level. I already overcame this when I referenced your globe Earth maths that has surface level parallel with eye level. That's not reference to the centre of Earth. Level is level. You don't understand what level is. Are you fundamentally retarded when it comes to these descriptions? Are you stupid? Level isn't to the centre of Earth. I've just referenced it before you said it in your own stupid Earth curve maths. Do you not understand that? Are you stupid? This is very, very basic mathematics. Level means having no part higher or lower than the other. Moving with respect to the centre of a sphere isn't having any part higher or lower than the other. Are you stupid? Are you stupid?
No.
Well, why are you telling me that level, having no part higher or lower than the other, is with respect to the centre of a sphere, when I very specifically told you in your maths it isn't? Level, surface level, in your Earth curve maths isn't running to the centre of a sphere. Are you stupid? It seems the answer is yes. Have you got anything else for us, dum-dum? Because centre of Earth is not level. Meanwhile, gas-filled space, second law of thermodynamics, and you reference gas pressure gradients that need a flat Earth measurement for you, the dumb globe believer. I'll just make it clear. I couldn't give a toss about what you believe or what any of the other citations I presented here today have by your appeal to what your crystal ball says they believe, like you believe, after measuring Earth flat with sea level. Are we all clear, or is there anything else?
Yes, your redefinitions I don't accept.
Right, definitions, there were men in universities speaking about gas filling space.
All those war birthers?
Who cares? Sorry, you want to appeal for a fourth time to what men believe? You didn't answer my question. Given that you've measured Earth flat with sea level, do you think I give a toss what you fundamentalist religious zealot, believe in? You are a tosser with a belief. You think I care what you believe in?
You believe in the flat Earth?
So do you think I care what you believe in? You're going to tell me what I believe in? I have beliefs. I don't believe in your reference to sea level. That's measurements of gradients with respect to sea level. That's not a belief. I used your claimed measurements of pressure gradients. Those are measurements with respect to sea level, Earth that's flat. So did you need to chant through me? Is this painful? Yeah, you can be damn sure it is painful, because I'm telling you how stupid you are. Centre of Earth for level? No, stupid idiot. Yeah, measurements of Earth aren't beliefs. You gave me one with respect to sea level for gradients. That's a measurement. Yeah, you think your chanting's going to work, Dumbo? You're stupid and I'm educating you.
No, have you ever done a measurement?
What, like sea level and pressure gradients? I don't know, I used your example. Have you not made these measurements of gradiated pressure with respect to a flat Earth? Because it was your example I used. You're going to tell me I haven't made your measurements of a flat Earth sea level reference and pressure gradients that prove a flat Earth?
You guys used to do observations, remember?
So you're telling me what I used to do? Is it your measurements of the pressure gradients you appeal to with respect to a flat Earth? Because you seem to be throwing back your example of pressure gradients with respect to a flat Earth like I should have measured them. Have you measured them? They're your example. Did you measure them?
What happened to like the black swan and like?
Sorry, you seem to be flailing a little bit. You threw in my face about measurements I'd made, and I'm pointing out that your example was pressure gradients with respect to a flat Earth, and you're flailing around about the black swan and chanting through me. Chanting through me, is it painful? How do they taste? Salty? Salty much? Black swan isn't the answer to my question. With respect to sea level, your example, I didn't measure it, it's your example, did you? Fourth time. Coward. Got your answer? Did you measure these gradients with respect to sea level? It's your example, Dumbo.
They're measured all over the Earth. I mean,
did you measure them? That's what you laid at my door, Dumbo. Fifth time's a charm with an idiot. Oh, it was unreasonable to put that at my door, was it? So when I ask you if you've measured these gradients with respect to a flat Earth, you've got a dumbfounded silence for me. I'm not going to be measuring your claim of flat Earth proving gradients. That's your claim.
Are you contending there's not a difference?
There's not a difference of what? Pressure gradients with respect to a horizontal plane of reference. Yeah, we can prove Earth's flat with pressure gradients. Yeah, definitely.
Just going up the mountain.
Up with respect to sea level. Yeah, up proves a flat Earth because you don't have up on a globe. It's only with respect to flat planes that you can have up. You don't have that on a globe.
Such a weak argument, man.
A weak? No, we measure altitudes up with respect to sea level also. It's not weak. That's how we measure stuff. Did you not know that? Was that your rebuttal to call me weak? No, I say when a numpty comes along and tells me that he can prove a globe with elevation measurements of pressure gradients with respect to a flat Earth, I don't think that's weak. That's strong. That's me pummeling you. With flat Earth proof.
Not at all.
Your flat Earth proof that you gave me and then asked me if I'd done measurements. We're still not getting an answer from you if you've done them, because you thought that was a reasonable request of me. And yet, when I throw it back in your face, I get a dumbfounded silence. Did you measure these pressure gradients off a flat Earth or not?
Yeah, actually, one time I had this empty bottle and I took it up the mountain and there was a difference in pressure. And
up the mountain? Did you know how high it was with respect to sea level?
Yeah, GPS.
Sorry, GPS with respect to the Mercator projection measured flat, with respect to latitudes measured flat. You use that GPS system off a Mercator projection that's absolutely flat. That's a flat Earth proving elevation angle measurement based system with latitude measured. Did you need to chant through this flat Earth proving system that you just mentioned? Because it would seem that the painful reality of a flat Earth measured from Mercator projection with latitude grids in a square fashion that are measured with angles to Polaris off a flat plane would be something you definitely needed to chant through. Did you think that saying GPS was going to win you your argument? It's the second time you've used a system that's got latitude as part of the fundamental preface for that system of a flat map called the Mercator projection that uses latitude measured on a flat Earth. It can only be measured on a flat Earth. It's 90-degree angles off the ground to Polaris for that flat square grid that GPS uses. Did you think that was a globe proof? It's a flat square map.
Well, as long as you say it's a proof for flat Earth, it must be.
Sorry, did you have a different globe projection that's used for GPS other than the Mercator projection?
The Earth Center Earth Fixed Coordinate System?
ECEF is also latitude-based.
That means that the Earth is flat.
Yeah, because it's measured with respect to Polaris. Angle measurements off a flat plane give you that system of ECEF. Yes, flat Earth. Correct.
If the Earth was a sphere...
Sorry, are you going to actually respond to anything that I put to you, or is it just the segues in every single defeat? Now I'm going to hold it right where we are. We're going to stick with the very first claim you made. That's pressure gradients with respect to a flat Earth. Now, you've taken us on a little dance of other things, ECF, Mercator projections, and GPS. But your very first claim that you levelled at me whether or not I'd measured pressure gradients, you haven't answered if you've measured them. And when we get to whether or not you have, because you thought it was reasonable to charge me with measuring them, when you have or haven't, I'll point out that they are with respect to a flat plane, regardless of your ineptitude and ability to measure these pressure gradients with respect to a flat Earth that you referenced and then charge me with measuring. Dumbo, did you measure them? We're back at this flat Earth proving gradient that you gave us. Remember? Did you measure them, Dumbo?
Yeah, my bottle experiment, Nathan.
Dumbo, did you measure them yourself? Or is it just the bottle going
the
up a
empty
hill?
bottle, Nathan.
Just the bottle going up a hill with respect to its height above sea level, yeah? Just the other flat Earth proof you use with the bottle.
You know what? I'll take my Tesla out. I'll go do
Or
it
is
right
that an
now,
accurate
and
measurement?
I'll give you a video.
Accurate measurement of gradients that you appeal to? You going up a bottle mountain with a bottle is accurate representation of pressure gradients with respect to sea level?
Yes.
No, you're just a moron who thinks that carrying a bottle up a mountain is what, pressure gradients with respect to sea level? No, Dumbo, you've got delusions of grandeur with your little plastic bottle there, sunshine. Think you're a bit stupid. Think you're being humiliated by me, son. I think that's what's actually happening here. Now, your bottle's definitely not going to give me an accurate description of pressure gradients with respect to sea level. That's you being a clown. What a shock.
I think the tactic might be to give you a plethora of flat Earth proofs and then just claim globe right after it. So it's kind of like gaslighting at this point.
Yeah, it's like you want to
You
use
guys
our
used to
proof.
have
Get
a
your own
different
flat
standard
Earth. Get your
for-
own measurements. Don't use ours. Don't use stuff from sea level to claim you've got a globe proof. Get your own measurements. When are you going to give us some of those?
Throw
Haven't you got
around the
your
word
haven't you
proof
got haven't you got your globe Earth silver bullet yet? Shout out to Adam Platts
remember
for
my
the
Salt Lake
£10.
imagery?
Yeah, I've got to thank people who pay my mortgage, son. You worry about your level being with respect to a curve because you're dumb. I'll thank my super chatters who are thoroughly enjoying me pummeling the living daylights out of you with all your flat Earth proof that you keep giving us. Thank you, by the way. Really appreciate it. Yeah, gradients with respect to sea levels are great flat Earth proof. Thank you for that, by the way. I really appreciate it. Like I appreciate that super chat Adam just gave me.
Very dishonest.
So where's your silver bullet for a globe? Where's your globe Earth measurement? What you got?
Come to Salt Lake City.
What, so you can show us how flat things
Well,
are?
that's Salt Lake.
What you got from Salt Lake City that's proving a globe measurement?
Remember my 28-mile observation to Salt Lake City from Antelope Island? Total flat Earth debunker. It was crazy. Crazy.
So I asked for a globe measurement, and this man is stupid and deaf. So did I say, give me your best flat Earth debunking? No, if I wanted that, I'd ask you to debunk your own claims of sea level with respect to gradients. No, I said, where's your silver bullet globe measurement?
Oh, measurements. Walter Bislins actually took my observation and over the Bonneville Salt Flats, and we have the radius of the Earth.
No, you use a different. No.
Walter Bislin also uses level as a flat plane too, buddy. Walter
did you not know
Bislin's got
that?
it in there. It's right there. The surface
that
level
mean?
on it, buddy.
Oh, what does that mean? It means that in Walter Bislin's calculator, surface level very specifically is horizontal and parallel with eye level for the maths to work. For your globe Earth maths to process your images, that's Walter Bislin's globe Earth maths, he utilises surface level as level. Like when you said it was curving around a globe Earth earlier, and I absolutely smashed the living daylights out of you by taking you to curve maths that has surface level and eye level parallel with one another. Walter Bislin uses those maths. Surface level is flat in Walter Bislin's maths. So you can derive the differential between surface level and eye level to claim that you've got a point below surface level called Earth curve. Now, with our advanced understanding of your maths, we can debunk your stupid, nonsensical, idiotic notions that level, having no part higher or lower than the other, comports with the centre of Earth. That idiotic notion is also debunked in Walter Bislin's mathematics that uses surface level as a level plane. Did you not know that? Yes or no? It's a closed question.
You just mute me.
No, you're off mute when I ask you if you understand and appreciate that Walter Bislin's calculations that you just appealed to for your 2018 garbage uses a flat plane in the maths. It's called surface
Just
level.
not true.
Oh, really? Do you want to show us surface level in Walter Bislin's maths, please? Show us it.
So you just bring up some.
So I'm just going to ask you to show us surface level in Walter Bislin's calculations there, because you're appealing to them. Can you do that?
Surface level.
Yeah.
You think that's
surface
in the
level,
calculation?
having no part higher or lower than the others in Walter Bislin's maths. Very specifically, because it's utilised for the differential between eye level and surface level in the calculations to derive a point below surface level called Earth curve. That's how the maths works. Now, obviously, you're stupid. You don't know how your own stupid Earth curves maths work. You thought level went around the curve of the Earth? That's what you said earlier. You're stupid. Like all globe-believing idiots. You don't know how your own maths works. We do. It's got surface level in it. You appealed to it and are now telling me what? Surface level moves around the centre of Earth? In Walter Bislin's maths? No, it wouldn't function. You need some of these Euclidean principles to hold true, and they do in his maths, for you to derive a difference between surface level and eye level. Third time's a charm. Did you not know that?
How would it be different if the Earth was a sphere?
Would it be a better question if it was not the question about Walter Bislin's surface level that you just appealed to about 3.5 minutes ago? It's the third time I've asked you if you were unaware that surface level in Walter Bislin's maths is a flat Earth proof. Surface level is flat in his maths. Were you unaware 4 times?
You're just asserting it.
So I'm asking you if you know, because it's your maths you appealed to.
You don't even know what I'm
Sorry, are you going to show us? Because you appealed to this. It's a bit like when you asked me if I'd made the measurements for pressure gradients with respect to surface level. It's your Dumbo claim. You appealed to processing your images through Walter Bislin's maths. It's your claim, Dumbo. Can you not keep track of your own garbage that you're claiming? Is it just shocking that we know more about the process of the maths you had your images put through than you do? Yet you are appealing to Walter Bislin's maths. Show me surface level so we can check its curving in his maths, like you would say it is and did earlier. I say, nah, surface level's level. You say otherwise, so let's see in Walter Bislin's maths based on your appeal to it, Dumbo. Go on, chop chop. If you don't want to chop chop and take my demands to go and back your stupid shite, then bugger off, because you can't back your stupid shite that you appeal to with Walter Bislin's maths. I will then take victory when you don't do what I'm demanding you do to back your claim when you appeal to a maths that's got a flat Earth surface level in it, son. 5th time's a charm. Do you want to go and toddle along and get that to prove me wrong? Because it's your claim of a surface level that curves in that maths. It doesn't. It's flat. Earth's
Never
flat.
said anything about surface level.
Well, do you want to show us it? You appealed to it. Show us surface
Actually,
level.
fine.
It's what we're debating about. You understand that, right? We're debating about surface level and whether or not it's flat. So we're going to need to see what surface level's doing in Walter Bislin's maths, won't we? You appealed to it. Are you going to run away like a little coward that can't back his claims and is being absolutely pummeled by a flat earther? Or are you going to go and get that surface level from the maths you appealed to? Which is it, coward? Run away or get the surface level from Bislin's maths? Which one?
I actually just pulled it up. I found it. I haven't done it in years.
So let's have a look at what
Then I
surface
can
level is.
share- Then I can share. No, I mean, you're the one who put the straw man at surface level.
It's your
and I don't
claim.
know why you're talking about it.
You want to show me and point me in the direction of surface level in it or not?
I went ahead and
stream
posted
into
it to
this channel.
Skype, and it's got surface level in it. Most matter of factly, it does. He is screwed.
Let's just stick it up on screen for my audience's benefit.
Yeah, let me see if you guys got the right one. Let's see. Otherwise, I can get you the link. I can't share screen. I
Walter
guess.
Bislin Earth curve calculator, right?
Factly,
No.
it does.
That's
It's
what you
not
said.
it.
Walter Bislin Earth curve calculator.
No, that's not what I said. It's specifically for my observations.
Walter Bislin.
So I can't share
Earth
screen.
code
How do I get
calculator.
the link to you?
Shut up, you dumb globe-believing clown. Surface level. I'm waving my mouse over it. Eye level. I'm waving my mouse over it. You stupid boy. You said this was moving around. No, it isn't. It's having no part higher
It's
or
not
lower than
even
the other,
where-
exactly as I described. It's parallel with
Look at
eye
my
level,
link.
exactly as I described. It's labelled Walter Biz. Now, I can only assume that's Walter Bislin. But this is what the curve calculator uses. It's even got horizon line parallel with that. Yo, Dumbo, your maths uses surface level as flat. Are you stupid or what?
I posted.
Are you
posted the
stupid?
link
I've got
if you
Walter
wanna check it
Bislin's.
out.
Are you stupid? Do you need to just yammer through me berating your stupidity here or what? No, son, you're going to get berated by a flat earther. Walter Bislin's calculations that you appeal to uses surface level as a flat plane. It must, because you're deriving something you call horizon, aka Earth curve, below surface level by calculating the difference between eye level parallel with surface level. That's how the maths works. I've already told you this 3 times. Now, Dumbo, you are obviously, in answer to my question, unaware that Walter Bislin's calculations use surface level as a horizontal plane parallel with eye level. Now you may thank me for educating you in a more sophisticated manner when it comes to your stupid globe faith that uses surface level as a plane. Like sea level with your other stupid appeal to something you thought proved the globe or proved the sky vacuum when you're using flat earth measurements to do it. So you may thank me. Walter Bislin's maths uses surface level flat exactly as asserted. You were unaware. You may thank me.
I posted the link to what I was.
You may thank me, moron globe believer. You asserted incorrectly that horizontal, that's surface level, runs parallel with a sphere. No, it does not. In Walter Bislin's maths, surface level's flat. You were wrong. Now you may thank me. Or you can just stutter.
You want to check out?
You're going to tell me what I need to check out? You may stutter or you may thank me. You have stood corrected in your garbage about what horizontal, parallel, level is. Doesn't move around a sphere, mate. You're wrong. You may thank me. You appealed to Walter Bislin's maths, mate. It had surface level in it, exactly as I described, comporting with your sea level when describing gradients. You stood corrected on multitudes of flat earth proofs you presented, and now want some acknowledgement of that rather than telling me what I can do. I'm telling him what you can do. You can thank me for utilising all of your flat earth proofsies that you offered here today. No, or you can just run away. Yeah, that's what you can do when you're having your flat earth proofs put back to you. Run like a coward. Enjoy the aftertaste.
Until you get tuckered out a little bit.
Tuckered out? Oh, I'll never get tuckered out using gradients from sea level. That's a wonderful flat earth proof. I'll never get tuckered out using your examples to prove a flat earth. What about Walter Bislin's calculation? We'll take our time and ponder the surface level in that maths. Tuckered out? Now I could do this all day. I've been doing it for 10 years. You seem to tucker yourself out and come back
There's no
at a later date to interrupt what you think is what me getting tuckered out. No, I'm still here. I'm paying the mortgage with this proof of flat earth you gave me.
Hardly.
Hardly. People have literally paid me to take apart what you claimed about sea level and gradients. They've given me money for that. Hardly. Denial much?
Sad.
Denial much? Yeah, I am. I'm paying the mortgage with what you've said and proved the flat earth with. That's a fact. You don't like it.
Hey, don't you
I'm monetizing your stupidity. That's right. You're not like that. You're like my whore. I'm using you to make money. Yeah? I'm like your pimp. You're like my bitch. How does that feel? You laugh it up. Earth's measured flat, like with sea level in your example of pressure gradients. That's Earth being measured flat. How does that taste? Giggle for me.
I'm wealthy.
Stuttering. I'm stuttering. We know you're I'm stuttering. I'm asking you how it feels given that I'm monetizing your ass and your stupidity. How does that feel? I want to know about your feelings. Not your beliefs. We don't care about those. Your feelings. Now you're being monetized by a flat earther. How's that feel?
Collect your pennies. Collect your pennies, buddy.
Right. How does it feel to be monetized based on your flat earth evidence that you've presented here? People are paying for that. Your flat earth evidence. I want to know how you feel about that.
Everlastingly grateful, actually.
You're grateful that I am making money off your flat earth evidence? Who'd have thunk it 10 years ago that you'd be on a flat earth debate show offering evidence from sea level for pressure gradients, proving a flat earth as you do so? You'd have never imagined it in your wildest dreams, would you?
I can pay for my own computers, buddy.
Like, is that a non sequitur fallacy about what you paid for? Because I've just proved flat Earth with your pressure gradients from sea level, and you're talking about who paid you for your computer? That's fascinating.
Must not be doing well.
Right, must not be doing well. I've got a computer that I'm running a show and monetizing your flat Earth evidence with, and you say I'm not doing well. That seems like a non sequitur fallacy and an ad hom fallacy. Did you have any more fallacies that you wanted to lay at my doorstep? Because the ad hom fallacy isn't going to work here.
You want to e-beg for something else?
Yeah, smash the super chat if you enjoy this clown with no silver bullet globe measurement, just a lot of flat Earth measurements and stupid declarations that obviously only an idiot would come out with when they describe what level is. Yeah, idiot declarations. Yeah, smash that super chat if you enjoy watching globe believers who in the past have lorded it over flat earthers like they're some sort of intellectual superiority. Nah, not anymore. Now they're just reduced to some whore. Yeah? Being peddled by me, the pimp, using you and your evidence of a flat earth measurement for money to pay my mortgage with. That's how it's turned out in 2024.
Very unsuccessful pimp.
What? You're doing it? I'm not giving you a cut of this money. You're not getting a dime. You're still here doing it for me. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thanks for the flat earth evidence. It was really good. The audience loved it.
She's like a prostitute that don't get paid. She kicks everything up to the pimp. Good job.
How does that feel? I was asking earlier how that feels. Now people are mocking you for this. We're mocking you. That's how it is in 2024. We mock you now for how stupid you are when you come here with your flat earth proofs, thinking you're proving globes with them. No, we mock you now.
Morgile. You're the Morgile of flat earth now.
Like, did you want to talk about how you felt given that you've offered us flat earth proof?
At least you don't do drugs.
Like, Morgile isn't you and how you feel. How do you feel? You tell us about it.
I feel great if they're giving you money, man.
What, for your flat earth evidence? They are. I've established that. That's not in contention. What is how you feel about giving my audience flat earth proof and then paying me for it. How do you feel about that? Given that you're a staunch globe believer who back in the day was asking us for our silver bullet. And then what do you know? You come and give us bullets and the gun to shoot you with. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
You hear that?
We don't have
Do you hear those people laughing at you?
Bring it for us.
Do you hear those people laughing at you? Can you hear them?
Cult members?
Not cult members. No. We're using your evidence. The only thing we've used to laugh at you is the evidence you presented here that proved the flat earth. That's what we're laughing at. So what, cult evidence that you presented? A bit like when you told me I should be making measurements after you appealed to Bislin and pressure gradients. We're using your own evidence. Like I say, you bought us the bullets and the gun. Now after shooting you in the face with them, we're laughing at you and we're asking you how you feel about that.
I was ripping a bong, actually.
Yeah, you do that. Console yourself at the bottom of that dirty bong water, mate. Because that ain't going to help me, is it? All right, yeah, it will. Yeah, because anybody listening knows damn well that you've not got a silver bullet globe proof. The only measurements you presented were for flat earth. How sad. Not going to find out how you feel about it, just drowning your sorrows in drugs. Yeah, that's what I expect from globe believers in defeat. Yeah, at the bottom of a dirty bong.
Hey, did he just accused of Morgile while sucking on a bong?
Yeah, projection.
Wow, what a piece of crap.
Yeah, this is your mind on globe. Yeah, eventually you'll find yourself like this man at the bottom of a dirty bong stinking of fag ash. Right? Stinking. Yeah, I bet you stink. Yeah, I bet you are quite repulsive to be around. I bet you are smelly. You know why I think that? Because you've just told me how stinky and dirty you are. Yeah, what, while telling the world how dirty and drug addict and whatever Morgile is? No, mate, you need to take a long, strong, hard look in the mirror, my friend. Yeah? No, some people can't get by in life without things like the bong. You know, we can help you with that too. We can counsel you. We can help you experience life without the need for drugs. We can help you with that. Would you like our counsel
quit
too?
drinking 2 years ago, Nathan.
Or would you like our counsel in that regard too? We can help you with many different things. I mean, you've helped us so much here today. You know, showing the audience how Earth is flat. And obviously the audience, they're going to want to, you know, give me money for that and such. So there's going to be points in the show where I've got to obviously segue away from the discussion of how well you've proven flat Earth here, and thank people like Vlad for his super chat. Say thank you very much for paying me. Gotta love when their own proofs prove FE. That was epic, says Vlad on 0 degrees. It was epic. I agree. I'd love to know how he feels about it. He's just ripping a bong at the moment and projecting his drug addiction onto Morgile.
No, I wanted you to get on with Witsit, man.
Yeah, just chill, man. Just chill with your bong. Yeah. You sit down, have yourself a bong, have yourself a pancake, maybe chill out and worry about how much flat Earth evidence you presented here. Crazy drug addict. Anyway, that was fun.
I was hoping that I could go over with him out. His belief of the shadow on the moon requires angles measured from a flat plane to assert. So, like, when he thinks you should see a minus sign across the moon, like, it's actually his model he's arguing with because his model is a flat plane model. That's why he asserts things like that.
The dumb hit guy is one of my favorite characters in this Daddy Daycare. I like this guy. What's your name, man?
Who is this guy? Well, can you just take the L and leave, or you just have to breathe in pain the rest of the show?
Hey, when you're a part of the cult, man, everything's a win.
So when you're part of the cult and you're ripping a bong, you can eventually get a sentence out. Do you want to try that again? Maybe just chill out, sit down, rip your bong, and let the adults have a little discussion. Yeah? You want to do that? Because, I mean, we've got what we needed from you. You've been monetized. Thank you very much. We do appreciate your flat Earth proof that you presented here. Thank you very much. Now you want to call one of my associates Daddy Daycare. How sweet. And is the nurse there administering your THC to you? The nurse got a good handle on your drugs, has she? No, of course not. Self-induced drug problems. Projection.
Nathan.
Yeah?
He's in real pain. But I remember Jado from Politics Service said that they counsel them over there. So maybe he should come Friday, because he's in serious pain.
He is. I was just about to round out the live show when I pressed the wrong button. So with that, I'll say if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley premiering streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, though, if you are watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. So, another massive thank you to both Discord and G+ Panels for making today's live show possible. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.